Hi all. This video will be learning about the remaining part of lesson 5, which was from the previous video. In the previous lesson, part of the lesson, we learned about the formulas of area and perimeter of triangle, rectangle, and square. So in this, we will be learning about the circumference and area of a circle. Now, just for a quick review, perimeter is the distance around a figure. So you need to add up all the measurements which are around the figure to find out the perimeter, whereas area is the number of non-overlapping squares needed to cover a figure. So area is related to the inside part of a figure, and the perimeter is related to the outer distance, this distance around. Okay, so here are the formulas which we already learned yesterday. So triangle, the formula for perimeter is a plus b plus c, which means basically we are adding up all the measurements which are around. And if it is for the area of the triangle, it's going to be half bh, which means half multiplied by the base. Base means the down part of the triangle, and height, which means the standing length of the triangle from the top of the triangle till the bottom part. So rectangle, the perimeter is going to be 2L plus 2W. Now you could even add up like all the four sides, but to make it easier, because we're going to be adding the same if we're adding up all. So for easiness, we have this formula 2L plus 2W. Okay, and whatever the formula of area of the rectangle, you could say it as LW, that is L length multiplied by the width, or we can use BH, which means base multiplied by the height, which literally means the same thing. Length and the width is the same as base and the height. But base and the height is like base is the down part and height is the standing one. So similarly, it's the same. Length is also this long part and width is this part. So for the area of the square, perimeter of the square, we have 4s, which means rather than adding up the same number 4 times, we're just going to multiply that with 4. So 4s is the formula for perimeter, and for area, it's going to be s square, which means s multiplied by s. You're going to multiply s 2 times. Right, let's look at the circumference and area of a circle now. Now from the picture, you can see circumference is the area around the circle and area is the distance, the space inside. Now why don't we call it perimeter of the circle? In fact, perimeter and circumference, they mean the same, but because a circle does not have sides like a square or a rectangle or a triangle, a circle doesn't have sides, so we cannot add up the sides because we have no measurement for the side of a triangle, as you know. So for the circle, we don't have the measurements for the sides because it's a circle. So not to use that word perimeter, we use the word circumference, but that means they mean the same. Circumference and perimeter, both of them find the distance around the figure. Circumference is for the circle and perimeter is for the other figures. Now, what are the formulas used to find the circumference and circumference and area? The formula for circumference is 2 pi r and area is pi r square. You know, I know this thing is new to you. This symbol is new to you. This is a mathematical term, or you could call it a symbol with value. This uh, what do you call this? This symbol stands for a value. Which value is that? We consider this pi, the name of the symbol is called a pi. We call this, the pi is represented by this whole, this number, this decimal number, which is like, it doesn't stop, it keeps continuing. So we just consider pi to be, mostly it's considered pi to be, the value of pi to be 3.14. 3.14, or in fractional terms, if you want to write it in fractions, we could say it is 22/7, which means 22 will be in the numerator and 7 will be in the denominator. So either way we can do it. We can use it in a fractional form or we can use it in the decimal form. However you do, the answer you're going to get is going to be the same, right? Maybe some points difference will be there, but that's fine. So these are the things you need to remember. Circumference is 2 pi r and area is pi r square. Now what does this r stand for? What is this r? What does this r mean? We will see. Now these are the parts of a circle. I mean, these are the things which are important in a circle which you have to remember. Circumference, as you can see, it's in the same shape of a letter C. So circumference is the distance around the circle, whereas the area is the space inside the circle. Then radius, this is what we are concerned about, radius and diameter. Now radius is from the center of the circle to any corner, any part of the outer side of the circle. So from the center to any one side, but it should be from the center. So it's like half circle, like half of the circle it measures. Radius measures half of the circle. It should start from the center and it can touch any one corner of the or any one side of the circle. Whereas the diameter, di means two, so which means twice the radius. So diameter is from the from one side of the circle to the other. As you can see, these 2 points, from this point to this, but it should pass through the center. If it does not pass through the center, it is not diameter. If it is diameter, it should start from one corner of the circle till the other corner, but it should pass through the center. So this is the difference between radius and diameter. Radius is half the length of half circle, and diameter is the length of the full circle. So if you want to find radius, if the diameter is 10, radius is going to be half of that. So that means half of 10 is 5. If the diameter is 14, the radius is going to be 7. Now you will comment and let me know what is the radius if the diameter is 25. If the diameter is 25, what is the radius going to be? You will comment and let me know the answer. All right, so let's look at some questions. Find the circumference and area of the circle. So first, when you start solving, look at the figure. What kind of is the diameter given or is the radius given? Because we are working mostly with radius because both of the formulas have radius, right? So this is a radius from the center to any part of the circle. That's like half of the length of the circle. So here we can simply use 3. So the formula for circumference is 2 pi r, which means 2 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 3. So if you solve this, multiply the easy numbers first. 2 3s are 6. 6 multiplied 3.14 is 18.84 centimeter. Do not use a calculator. You have to do it by yourself. Area is going to be, the formula for area is pi r square, which means the value of pi is 3.14 multiplied by the radius, that is 3 square. Now do not make the mistake of multiplying 3 with 2. 3 square is 6. No, it is 3 square means 3 multiplied by 3, which will give you a 9. So 3.14 multiplied by 9 is equal to 28.26 square centimeter, because we are finding the area. So the answer should be in square centimeter. It's easy, but we need some practice. So let's start practicing. All right, so we will start with these 2 questions. Now these are easy questions, as already have explained the meaning of all of them. So question number 1 asks, explain how the concepts of perimeter and circumference are related. How is perimeter and circumference are related? I just explained before I started the lesson. Perimeter we use for the other figures, but circumference is for the circle. But both of them means the same. Perimeter and circumference both find the length of the sides, around the sides, right? So how are they both related? Both terms, I'm writing the answer here. Both terms, what do the both terms show? They refer, now you can write it in your own words, no problem. These are my words, so to the distance around a figure. All right. Oh, it's not straight. Fine. Question number 2. For a rectangle, length and width are sometimes used in place of what? I also explained this. Instead of saying length and the width for rectangle, we could also say you have to choose between these two. Can we say base and height or radius and diameter? Of course, not these two because they are only for circles. So it is going to be base and height. Okay, so let's start doing some questions. Find the circumference and area of each circle. Use the pi key on your calculator now because this is not related to you as you are not allowed to use calculators. So just use the value of pi to be equal to 3.14, or if you want you can also use 22 over 7. Up to you, whichever you think is easy for you. Okay, let me also show you by using the 22 over 7. So either you use the decimal or you use the fraction. And there will be a small difference in the answers like 0.1 or 0.2, that's fine. So let's find the circumference of this. So first let's write down the formula. It's going to be 2 pi r. So 2 pi r means 2 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by, now make sure is the radius given or the diameter given. This is the radius. So it's going to be 2.1. So first I'll multiply the easy numbers which are like easy to multiply. 2 multiply 2.1 is going to give you 4.1. Now 4.1 multiplied by 3.4. Now already we have done the steps for this, but still I'll just show you one or two how to do. So 3.14 multiplied by 4.2. So this is going to be 2 4s are 8, 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6, put the magic 0, 4 4s are 16, 4 1s are 4 plus 1 is 5, and 4 3s are 12. So it's 8, 8, 11, 3, 1. And the decimal point needs to be here because it's 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3. Now this answer has 3 digits. Okay, now usually when we write the answer of area or perimeter, we usually have only 2 decimal places. So we need to round up this number. Rather than writing 13.188, I am going to round this up. How am I going to round this up? Just look at the third digit here. So when you want to round it, you compare this digit with 5. So 8 is greater than 5, which means if the number in the third place is greater than 5, this number tends to change. It will change. It will become the next number. So 8 will become 9. But if it is less than 5, it stays the same. It does not change itself. So if the third digit is 5 or equal to 5 or greater than 5, the number before it will change to the next greater number. So here 8 is greater than 5, so the 8 will become 9. So the answer will be 13.19 meters. If it was instead of 8, if it was 2 here, so 2 is less than 5, so you will leave the 8 as it is. Alright, let's find the area now. Area is going to be pi r square, which means pi is 3.14 multiplied by radius is 2.1 square. So 2.1 square means it's going to be 2.1 multiplied by 2.1. Do not multiply 2.1 by 2, it's going to be wrong. So 2.1 multiplied by 2.1 will give you 4.41. Okay, so first multiply 2.1 by 2.1, that will give you 4.41, which means 3.14 multiplied by 4.41. So 3.14 multiplied by 4.41. You can even write it like 4.41 up and 3.14 down. However you want, you can do it. So put the 0. This is going to be 16. 4 ones are 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 threes are 12 plus 1 is 13. Put the 2 zeros. 4 fours are 16. 4 ones are 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 threes are 12. Let me erase this. So this is going to be 4 threes are 12. So we need to add them up. So that's going to be 4, 7, 14. This is 9. So this is 3 and 1. 3 and 1. So the decimal point will be here. So the answer is 13.9474. Now what did I say? Just look at this number here, right? Because it has 3 digits. So look at the third place. Is this greater than 5? Yes, it is. So what will happen to the 4? 4 will become the next greater number. So your answer is going to be 13.95 square meter, or you can still round this. As you can see, this is equal to 5. So either you leave it as 13.9 or you write 13.95. That's all right. Let's do question number 9. Now before you do, look at the figure. That is 16. The diameter is given to be 16. You can see the diameter is from one part of the circle to the other through the center. This is the center. So now first we need to find the radius. So radius is going to be the diameter divided by 2, because radius is exactly half of this, because it's half the length of half of the circle. So half of this is 8, half of 16 is 8. So the diameter is given to be 16. Okay, so 16 divided by 2, the radius is going to be 8. Fine, so we know the radius now. Let's find out the circumference. Now here I am doing it using this value, 22/7. If you want, you can use 3.14 also, no problem. So the formula is 2 pi r, which means 2 multiplied by 22/7. Now listen to me very carefully. If you want, you can replace this with 3.14. I am just showing you this so that already I have shown you one with this. Now I'm showing you with this. That's all. So the radius is 8. Now this is going to be 2 2s are 2 multiplied 22 is 44. 44 multiplied by 8 is going to give you 352. Okay, so first what I did is I multiplied all the numbers up. So I have 352 divided by 7. So now 352 divided by 7 will give you, so 352 divided by 7 will give you 5 here, 35. Put it down, bring down the 2. Now 2 you cannot divide by 7, so let it be 0. Okay, so this is you need to add a 0 because there is a decimal. So this is going to be 7 2s are 14. So we need 2 decimal numbers, right? So we add another 0. So 7 8s. So you can stop it with this, because if you keep dividing, you will keep getting numbers. So we could say the circumference is 50.28 centimeter. Okay, or you could even, if you want to round it, you can even compare 8 with 5 and change the 2 to 3. It's all right too. Now you would get a similar answer if you would use 3.142 also. It will be 16 multiplied by 3.14. If just points don't matter, like in case if you get 50.3 or 50.29, 27, that's okay. So let's find the area now. Area is going to be equal to pi r square, which means pi is 22/7 multiplied by, that is r square, 8 square. So which means 8 multiplied by 8. So here, let me elaborate it for you. So this is going to be 764. Now you have to multiply 22 by 64 and divide by 7. So if you feel just by multiplying the decimal point is easier, just go ahead and do it. I feel that's easier. That's why first I gave you this value for the pi. So 22 multiplied by 64 is going to give us, this will give you 1408. So 1408, you need to divide it with 7 now. So that's going to give you, I think, 201 point, put the point, 201.1. So we could say 201.1, but it's always better we write the another decimal place. So 30, 201.14 square centimeter. All right, so maybe if you would use 3.14, there will be a slight difference in these decimal numbers, but that's all right. Maybe you will get a 15, or maybe you will get a 201.2, so that's fine. So I just wanted to show you this. However, you can do, you can either use the value of the decimal, or you could use the value of the value in fraction. That's all. Okay, now let's look at this question. Given the area of each of the following figures, find the unknown measure. So here they have given you the area, but you need to find out the base or the height. So it's like we are going to work backwards now. In the previous day, they gave us the base and the height, we were finding the area. But now they have given us the area, so we have to find the base or the height, whichever is missing. So the question says the area of a triangle is 6.75 square meter. If the base of the triangle is 3, what is the height of the triangle? So first always start by writing the formula of the triangle. It's going to be half BH. So what is the information they gave us? They gave us the area. So they said area is 6.75 square meter. Then if the base of the triangle is 3, so they also gave us the base. We write the half as it is, multiplied by 3. And what is the height? We don't know the height. We need to find what is the height. So we have to find the height. So what you're going to do, you have to solve these first. So first solve this part because we can multiply. What is half multiplied by 3? Simply in yesterday's video also I told you find out what is half of 3. If it is any number multiplied by half, means just ask the question, what is half of this? What is half of 3? So half of 3 everyone knows it's 1.5. So it's going to be 1.5 h, right? 1.5 multiplied by h will give you 1.5 h. So h is going to be equal to 6.75 divided by 1.5. Now you are dividing decimals, so you need to be a bit careful. You know that we cannot divide if the the divisor has a decimal point. So this is your question. We cannot do this because there is a decimal, so we need to move this decimal away. So it goes one place value away means this needs to move too. So the new question you have is 15 divided by 67.5. So you cannot divide 6 by 15. 67 divided by 15, I think will give you 4. So this will give us 67. Bring down the 5. Don't forget to put the decimal point. So 75 divided by 15 is 3. So the height is going to be 4.3 meters. This is how you work in a reverse way. They have given you the area. You need to find the height and the base. Height or the base. All right. So let's try one more question. Now, if you want, you can pause the video here. You can do it by yourself and then find out the answer. Else, you can do it with me. A rectangle has an area of 347.13 centimeters square. If the length is 20.3 centimeter, what is the width of the rectangle? So first always start by writing the formula. Area is equal to length multiplied by the width, or so here they have given the length, so you use LW. If not, you can use BH. So area is 347.13 equals, the length is 20.3 multiplied by W, because what is the width? We have to find the width. So multiplied by W. Now you know 20.3 multiplied by W will give you 20.3 W. So to remove the W from there, we need to do the opposite. 347.13 divided by 20.3. I know it's a big number, but we have to do it. So first, let's write it down. Now, before I write the question, you can move the decimal itself from here. So this is the divisor. Here there's a decimal which we need to move one place away. That will go out. So here if you move one place away, in the dividend as well, you need to move it to one place. So the question we have is 3471.3 divided by 203. Now, you know we cannot divide 3, we cannot divide 34, but 347 we have. So this will give us 144. Bring down the 1. So this is going to give us another, what do you think is going to give? It's going to give us a 7. So 7 3s are 21. 203 multiplied by 7 is going to give you 1421. Bring down the 3 again. Don't forget the decimal point. So 203 divided by 203 is 1. So that will give us the remainder as 0. So the width of the triangle is going to be 17.1 centimeter, because the question itself is in centimeter. So this is how you do it. Only you should not get confused, or you should not leave out any digit here. Let's do one last question. The area of a circle is 64 pi. Find the radius of the circle. So they have given us the area. Area is going to be pi r square. So the area they said is 64 pi. It might look difficult for you, but it is not. So here we write the pi the same because they kept pi, both of the pi's the same. So in the answer, if they give you the pi, you keep it in the other side of the equation as well, you keep the pi. So we don't know what is r square. Now, a trick here, if either sides of the equation, this side of the equation and also this side of the equation has pi, you can simply cancel them. If both sides of the equation have pi's, you can cancel them. So what does that leave us with? It leaves us with 64 equals r squared. Now, I cannot simply say r is equal to 64. No, it is wrong. If I say r is equal to 64, it's wrong. Why? Because there is a square here. So I need to remove the square from the r. So to remove the square, what I do is I need to find out the square root of 64. Now, what is this symbol? This stands for square root, which means which number multiplied 2 times will give me 64. It should be the same digits. It cannot be different digits. Which same number multiplied 2 times will give me 64? This is what you need to find. So we have only 8 and 8 because 8 8s are 64. So the square root, this is called the square root of 64 is 8, which means the radius is 8. I'll quickly explain more about square roots. Now you have 5 square. What does this 5 square means? It means 5 multiplied by 5, which is 25. Okay, but if I want to find out the square root of 25, means which number multiplied 2 times the same number will give me 25. So which number, same number multiplied 2 times gives us 25? It's 5 and 5. So the square root of 25 is 5. So it's like the opposite of the square. Here we are expanding it. We are making 5 multiply 5. But here we are finding which number multiplied 2 times gives you the number. So similarly here, now if it was 8 square, means you will find it like 8 multiplied by 8 is equal to 64. Right? We are multiplying 8 2 times. So if you want to find the square root of 64, means which number multiplied the same number 2 times gives us 64. So it's 8 and 8. So the answer for the square root of 64 is 8. So you have many other numbers like that. So you have the square root of 4, which is 2. You have the square root of 9, which is 3. We have the square root of 16, which is 4. So it's like a pattern. You can see 2, 3, 4. So the next one will be the square root of 25, which is 5. 5 5s are 25, 4 4s are 16, 3 3s are 9, 2 2s are 4. So this is the same concept applied here. Hopefully you have understood. It's something new to learn. It's always good to learn something new because it will keep you updated and it will keep yourself and your mind and your thinking working and working. So hopefully you have understood this lesson. Keep practicing, do more practice. Practice, practice, practice is the perfect way to achieve good marks in math. Okay, do not think math is difficult and don't leave doing it. It's how your brain works. If you think math is easy, yes, it's easy. If you think, no, I hate math, I don't want to study math, then yes, your brain will respond in the same way, like how you think. Okay, so hopefully this lesson is clear. It's a very easy lesson, but you need to practice. So till we meet again, keep practicing and keep learning math.